Today is July 25th, 2021. One of the areas that liberals have dominated in the United States is our education system. They own it. You do not even want to get me on the subject of the teachers' unions, especially the way they handled themselves through the pandemic. I do believe there are many wonderful teachers, and I hear from them frequently saying their hands are tied, kind of like police today. Well, it is time we take a look at the job that they are doing. We will forget for a moment the complete nonsense that advanced math is racist. Just how are we doing on the world stage? My source today is World Population Review, Education Rankings by Country 2021, Global Partnerships for Education. Education levels vary between countries around the world. In general, people in underdeveloped and undeveloped countries do not have access to quality education or education at all. Education rankings depend on many different aspects of learning, like completing primary school or graduating high school. Let's take a look at the countries by categories on a smaller scale to give you an idea of how each country's education systems perform on an average. First, we will look at the top 5 countries by primary school completion rate. 1. Georgia. 2. Kyrgyzstan. 3. Israel. 4. Saudi Arabia. And 5. Mexico. Second, we will look at countries by secondary school completion rate. 1. Kazakhstan. 2. Estonia. 3. Latvia. 4. South Korea. And 5. Ireland. Third, we look at countries by high school completion rate. 1. Finland. 2. Japan. 3. Russia, 4. Kazakhstan, and 5. Croatia. And who is number 1 on the college level? Well, that would be China. The best education systems in the world versus the worst education systems in the world. A list created by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, or OECD, looked at the number of people between the ages of 25 and 64 who have completed a vocational program or had to receive a 2- or 4-year degree. The data was used to determine which countries were the most educated. Based on this list, Canada is the most educated nation. Over 56% of adults have continued their education past high school. Coming in second is Japan. Over 50% of adults in this country have completed some form of post-high school education. Following right behind Japan is Israel, with 49.9% of adults having finished a higher education program. Other countries that ranked highly in education based on this data include Korea, United Kingdom, United States, Australia, Finland, Norway, and Luxembourg. Another measurement of the most educated countries is through U.S. News and World Reports, the best countries by education list. These rankings were based on 3 factors: a well-developed public education system, top-quality education, and whether respondents would consider attending university in their own nation. Based on this list, the United Kingdom comes out on top as having the world's best education system. In second place is the United States. About 70% of graduates go on to a higher education program. In third place is Canada, followed by Germany and France. The United States education rankings have been falling by international standards over the past 3 decades. As the government has decreased education funding by 3%, other countries have increased their funding. On the flip side, there are countries with inadequate education systems. Not surprisingly, they include Burma, Central African Republic, Dominican Republic, Equatorial Guinea, Georgia, Liberia, Libya, Monaco, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and Zambia. Let's look at education rankings by country 2021 based on reading, math, and science. Coming in number 1 is China with a total score of 1731, reading 556, math 600, science 575. Number 2, Hong Kong, 1637 total points, 533 in reading, 555 in math, 549 in science. Number 3, Finland, 1631 points, 536 in reading, 541 in math, 554 in science. Number 4, Singapore, 1630, 526 in reading, 562 in math, 542 in science. Number 5, South Korea, 1623 total points, 539 in reading, 546 in math, 538 in science. Number 6, Japan, 1588 total points, 520 in reading, 529 in math, 539 in science. Number 7, Canada, 1580 total points, 524 in reading, 527 in math, 529 in science. Number 8, New Zealand, total 1572, 521 in reading, 519 in math, 532 in science. Number 9, Taiwan, total 1558, 496 in reading, 543 in math, 520 in science. Number 10, the Netherlands, 1556 total points, 508 in reading, 526 in math, 522 in science. Next is Australia, 1556 total, 515 in reading, 514 in math, 527 in science. Next is Belgium, then Macau, then Iceland, then Poland, then Norway, then the United Kingdom, then Denmark, Slovenia, Ireland, France, and coming in number 22, the United States. So while liberal elites are concerned that we're just too smart, so we need to dumb down math and science, I say, relax. You're just not that smart.